Welcome to this video of aspireforgmat.com. Before attempting this question, please take the practice test at www.aspireforgmat.com and then verify your answers against this video, which will be available after you answer the question at our site. The link for the free Aspire for GMAT course is also available in the description box below. Just register on the site and enroll for the course. There are many such tests available. If you have any doubts or queries that you would like us to clarify, post in the GMAT forum and we will answer your questions. Our instructors can also solve these problems in a video which will be available at our site for your benefit.
The next question we are going to discuss about is this one. A certain company currently has how many employees? So the question is a simple one. You need to find out the number of employees in a company. Now again, this is an algebraic problem. The first option or the first statement tells us that there are 3 additional employees that are hired by the company and all the present employees remain. If all the present employees remain and 3 additional employees are hired by the company, there will be at least 20 employees in the company. The second statement tells us that if no additional employees are hired and out of the remaining employees that are out of the existing number of employees, 3 are sent away because they resign, there will be fewer than 15 employees in the company. So again, you can say that you can say a few things by clearly looking at this question. First of all, you can solve it easily by using some algebraic expressions. Secondly, it is an inequality question because if you see here, there will be at least 20 employees and there will be fewer than 15 employees are the two statements. However, they don't give you the exact number of the employees that would be in the company in case these scenarios or these events take place. So whatever is explained in these two statements would just give us an inequality situation. It wouldn't give us the exact number of people. So all we would know is if we send away 3 people, there would be more than 15, there would be less than 15 employees in the company, and if we hire 3 more people to the existing number of employees that are there in the company, there would be at least 20 employees. So there would be something more than or equal to 20 employees. So when you see at least or fewer than or more than or less than, you have to be sure that you don't form an equality equation. You don't form an equation. You have an inequality mentioned in the expression that you form. So that is something you need to pay attention to. And that is something you often miss actually. So let's see how we're going to solve this question now. Okay, now let's see how we are going to solve this particular question. Now, what the initial question tells us is this: a certain company currently has how many employees is what we are supposed to find. So the number of employees is the question here. We don't know the number of employees. We have to find the number of employees. And the first option gives us this information. If 3 additional employees are hired by the company and all the present employees remain, there will be at least 20 employees in the company. So what does this tell us? That 3 additional employees are hired and no employees are kicked out. So all present employees remain. Now there will be at least 20 employees in the company. So 3 additional employees are being hired. Now let the number of existing employees be X. On hiring the additional new employees, the number would become X plus 3. So now what the question says is there will be at least 20 employees in the company. So by the usage of the term at least, we know that the number of employees is going to be greater than or equal to 20. So the X plus 3, the new value that we found on hiring 3 additional employees, is going to be greater than or equal to 20. However, this is very insufficient to find out the value of X, because this would give us the value of X as an inequality. That is, X is, if I subtract 3 from both sides of the inequality, I would get X is greater than or equal to 17, and now that we clearly know is insufficient. So the first statement in itself is insufficient. Now let's see the second statement. It tells us that if no additional employees are hired by the company and 3 of the present employees resign, there will be fewer than 15 employees in the company. So what this tells us is no additional employees are hired by the company and 3 of the present employees actually resign. So this causes the number of employees to fall down, and there will be less than 15 employees in the company. So it means that no additional employees are hired by the company. Let's translate this into an equation. So let the present number of employees be X. Removing 3 employees as they have resigned, we get the new number of employees to be X minus 3. Now this X minus 3 will be fewer than 15. So it's not equal to 15, it is less than 15. Because it's fewer than, it doesn't say it will be or either 15 or less than 15. It doesn't say, it's not like at least. At least means it will be either equal to 20 or more than 20. When we say at least 20, we mean it's equal to or more than 20. However, here we mean it's less than 15, because all we have said, all we have in the equation is that, all we have in the statement is that it's fewer than 15 employees. So X minus 3 is less than 15. Again, if we add 15 to all to both the sides, because of course there's a minus 3 here, to compensate for that minus 3, let's add 3 on both sides of the equation. We would have X is less than 18. So X is less than 18. It's just insufficient. It could be anything, 17, 16, 15, 1, anything. So it's clearly insufficient. Remember, while starting out with data sufficiency, you might have this doubt in such questions, what you mean by finding a value for the number of employees is not that you find a range. You have to find an exact value. It's either 20, 21, 22, 23. You have to find an exact value. That is what we need in such questions. So let's consider these equations together. Together we know 1 gives us X plus 3 is greater than or equal to 20. We subtracted minus 3 on both sides, and we would get X is greater than or equal to 17. 2 gives us that X minus 3 is greater than, it's less than 15. So again we add 3 on both sides and we get X is less than 18. Now together we know that X is greater than or equal to 17 and X is less than 18. Now the only value that can fit both these conditions, that is X is greater than or equal to 17 or X is less than 18, is X is equal to 17. If you plot it on a number line, for example, if you draw a number line here, okay, this is a very crooked number line, but if you draw a number line here and you mark X is equal to 17, X is equal to 18. Now this is X is equal to 18 and this is X is equal to 17. Now in such a condition where X is greater than, now let me show that X is greater than or equal to 17, okay, and also X is less than or equal to less than 18. So X can take any value either above this or X can take any value below this. Now the only region that corresponds, that coincides with this is X, we know, is a number of employees, so it needs to be an integer. It cannot be a point, 17.1, 17.2, no. We also know that it cannot touch 18. It has to start from below 18. It can be anything from 17 to 17.9. But since number of employees is a constant, it has to be a whole number. It is a person can't be 0.5 or 0.9. So it has to be a whole number. So it can be only 17. And hence the answer is 17.